So the students dispersed and went back toward the dorms, and then, you know, these like 3 squads of police marched up to the dorms after them.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
Last night, there was a screening for the Encampments movie at UCLA that was being sponsored by SJP, right? So walk us through what happened. Also, start with your name.
Yeah, my name's Peter. I'm a graduate student there. Yeah, basically there was just an attempt to have a film screening of the Encampments.
Palestinian death.
I was born and raised in a Palestinian refugee camp. The university was cracking down on Palestinian activism on campus.
It's completely farcical to imply that in any way, like, Jewish people were being persecuted.
The SJP picked something that they thought would be like the most innocuous thing they could do, and just had the screening in this plaza at UCLA. They completely fenced off the area where the encampments have been held, and they said, okay, you can go to this other plaza. And then after they were just sitting there watching the movie, about 60 riot cops assembled and about 30 or 40 private security. They had, you know, the anti-riot, less lethal weapons and everything. And then they just basically, no dispersal order, they just charged into the crowd of students, tried to grab the screen. And
Wait,
then the
what
students,
kind of a screen was it?
it's just like a plastic, like an inflatable, the size of a small bed sheet. Yeah, it was just like a small inflatable screen, like
Okay.
the size of a bed sheet, you know, really small. They tried to grab that. So the students dispersed and went back toward the dorms to try to have the screening over there. And then, you know, these like 3 squads of police marched up to the dorms after them. And they brought in 2 police motorcycles and ran in again and grabbed 2 of the students. Kept them in the police station overnight. One of them had to go to the ER. Another thing is this guy, Eli Sibes, who's like this Zionist provocateur that became internet famous during the encampments. He went over there, he tried to start a fight, you know, getting in people's faces, getting really aggressive, and getting it on film so he could claim that he was being assaulted. In fact, he did. He assaulted multiple people there, and then he goes and he files a police report that he had been assaulted. And the next day, the UC releases this lying statement that one of our students has been assaulted and the SJP has been violent, and we had made some arrests of these violent provocateur, you know, outside agitators. It's just an absurd statement. And I mean, there were hundreds of witnesses, students that saw what happened and were shocked, expressed shock at just this incredible crackdown on basic, you know, democratic rights, just being able to have this film screening. It's really crazy.
Was it LAPD or UC police? Do you know?
I think it was primarily UCPD, but they sent down, because it was the anniversary of the encampment, they sent down police from San Francisco and San Diego, and you know, they spare no expense. They spend millions of dollars on this stuff.
As we've heard the horrors that unfolded on our campus a year ago, aided and encouraged by the UCLA administration, we remember the violence occurring in this very moment in Palestine, also upheld through the UC system. We remain connected to the brave Palestinian resistance.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! UCPD, KKK, IOF, they're all the same!
UCPD, KKK, IOF, they're all the same. Cops off campus! Cops off campus!
To the UC Regents funding the genocide of the Palestinian people and the police swarming our campus to quell any threat against their investments, I say, you can kill a Palestinian, but I hope you know that the Palestinians will fight till every last drop of blood. Every drop that is spilt will soak into the roots of the land, and maybe, just maybe, that's why the poppies are red. Maybe I will be one of the flowers. Maybe one day my dreams will be of soil and sunlight rather than grief and destruction. But until then, my dreams will be full of wishes to use my esophagus as one of the regents' neckties so they visualize how Palestinian blood has permanently discolored the white of their dress shirt. And I wish and I dream of the stain that the body I once was is so stubborn it will never come out in the wash. I promise I will haunt you forever.
They're here because they are scared of the power of the people.
Yeah!
In fact, the Palestinian people have endured unimaginable devastation, an extension of the 76 years of displacement, apartheid, and settler colonial genocide.
Yay!
Entire families have been erased, entire neighborhoods obliterated, entire generations stolen. Shame!
Shame!
Yet, despite the relentless brutality of the Zionist occupation, the spirit of resistance remains unbreakable!
Yeah!
To my comrades, all of you, I ask, how many different ways will we make a spectacle of Palestinian suffering? No matter how impactful the encampments were for our lives, they didn't change the material conditions of Palestinians. We must commit to sustained action, community, love, organizing. We have talked about the violence of the encampment for a year now because there was a period of reflection after the violence. There is no PTSD in Palestine because there is no post-trauma period. The Air Force condition is constant and incessant. I ask, what will we do to be creative and to treat the Palestinian people with dignity? How long will we sit in this twin position of witness and despair, teeth chattering in cowardice? Especially when we know that we're only facing this scale of police violence because we are organizing for Palestine. I hope we sit with these questions, let them burn into our skulls until we can imagine something bigger than what has already been built. We owe it to the Palestinian people.
But we know that repression breeds resistance. The state and its institutions target political movements not because they are weak, but because they pose a material threat to the functioning of empire. The criminalization of Palestinian resistance from the occupied territories to the diaspora follows the same logic that has disappeared revolutionaries and freedom fighters in every struggle against colonialism, imperialism, and capitalism. Political prisoners, whether they are the Palestinian resistance fighters held in Zionist jails or the Black and indigenous revolutionaries that disappeared within U.S. prison cages, have always been the clearest barometer of the ruling class's fear. Their struggle continues to be our compass. Therefore, we do not cower in the face of their threats. We do not negotiate with an institution built on genocide. We fight.
When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? That's right, we stand up and we fight back. And that's exactly what the UCLA SJP, UC Divest Coalition, and community have done for over 18 months. They do this because they are afraid. They are scared because they know that we are united and we will not stop. And we will not allow them to make us forget Palestine or to inflict the chilling effect on our movement that they are trying to do. We remember the violent Zionist attack that took place and the violent attack by so many different state forces. But we must also remember the bravery and steadfastness of our students and our community who continued despite the violence that took place.
UCPD shows more respect to Waymo than its students.
We should all take